What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're still continuing the breakdown of the front end on this O2 FXDL. Unfortunately, some of the audio got lost on the beginning part of this, but kind of just showing, taking the top tree apart. You've got to get this cap off right here. I had some extra, like that anti-slip mat from where I had done the drawers in my, toolbox. I had some of that laying around, grabbed it, was able to turn that off. Then next, you got to get that nut underneath there off. Right here, I'm trying to figure out exactly which wrench I need. Neither one of them really fit well. I'm not sure what the exact size is, but ended up with a 15/16. Fit well enough, and it wasn't going to round off the corners or anything. So, main thing was you really want you break that loose because all you're doing is kind of setting the tension with that nut anyway. So you're going to small crank. As soon as it breaks loose, it's just finger tight at that point. You can back it all the way off. Once you get that out, I guess I'll go ahead and show it to you. That way you know what it looks like. But it kind of looks like the top of a sleeve because it's sitting on top end of that shaft. But after that, you're going to need to take the bridge bolt out. It's the one that actually pinches the neck shaft to the top tree. Go ahead and break that loose. I would just say kind of beware. I had to go grab a breaker bar. Mine was on there tight. Seems like it hadn't been removed in a while. So got it broken loose. And then when you start to loosen it, I would say I didn't do it really right here, but I would hold on to the bottom tree. Well, I did actually end up grabbing it, but once you get that top one loose, the shaft is press fit into the bottom tree, so you're kind of releasing that, and you do have the chance for it to fall back down the neck of the frame. So by holding that, I end up having to give mine a few taps just to get it to go ahead and pop on out of there. And all of a sudden, it'll just fall. It's kind of just some tacky old grease that was still holding it in there. So it wasn't actually anything mechanical or anything like that. No extra bolt flanges or something. It was just a little some old grease. I'm gonna assume. I believe as long as the odometer on it's not wrong, this bike's got about 80,000 miles on it. So she was due for some service. But you can see right here just the old nasty brown dirt and dust clogged up in it, grease on that bearing right there. That's the main thing when you get swapped out. Never done this before. I just kind of had an idea of how to do it. I had to push the stem out. I didn't realize it was press fitted, so the snap ring I took off was unnecessary. I think that's more or less for when it bottoms out. So I get that put back on, but I got the stem put back on and the bottom neck bearing. I'm actually, while I've got them apart, going to go ahead and bring them over to the buffer. All right, top one done. Look at how much better that is. There's your bottom one, top one. Gonna get the bottom one done. Got both of them done. Wipe the fingerprint stuff off of them once we get them installed. But on this, I'm gonna have to go get the rental tool because I've tried fitting some stuff up in there and seeing if I could knock it out, and it's not going. So I guess I'll stop, go get the right tool. So same tool that I had rented to get the wheel bearings out, just a different configuration to where I've got 3 hooks trying to pull on it.
and it has the slide hammer on it. I have attempted to do it that way by pulling it up. I have had no luck. It just keeps wanting to slip past it and keep coming out. I've tried heating it. I pulled the torch out, put some heat on it. Nothing seemed to be working. Well, I looked up a video where somebody actually had a bearing race puller and they were knocking it up. So instead I went and grabbed an extension and I'm putting it from the bottom up to one of those teeth, and I'm just walking around, going that side to that side to that side, and I'm starting to get it up. That's why I thought I would stop to tell y'all this method is working in case you have one that's stuck like I do. Let's finish getting them taken out. Call that a win. But you see the gist. It's trying to hook up underneath it where you've got that lip, and then it's trying to use the hammer to give you the opposite force to pull it up. It just was not wanting to go, which I'm going to assume these are the originals from the bike and '02, so you're looking at, dang, what's the math on that? So yeah, don't mean they're gonna be easy coming out.
Go ahead and throw your new ones in the freezers if you hadn't done so already.
Same thing, heat up a little bit. Just in case. Cover these clutch covers. Get started. Some more just make me feel good. Alright. New races pressed in. Now go ahead and put the new braces in. Heat this up just a little bit. Not a lot, just enough. I'm hoping this 36 millimeter, had those in the freezer. Line them up. Can't do it that way. Okay. Be the bad part, now I can't touch nothing. Same thing. You hear when it finally gets down in there because it goes from a ding, 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 boom. All right, top one's in. As you can see, it sits below the actual top surface. Right there. Let's get the bottom in. Boom. More just make me feel good. So what I've always seen is, you know how you can kind of see up in there where you got the rollers? To put a glob of grease on your hand and you're kind of squishing it down in there while rolling it, and you'll see it'll start to squeeze out the top there. There you go. You see it? It's kind of, as I push down on it now, it's forcing it up and out the top. Kind of wipe a little excess off. Put that back down in your glove. And get just a little bit more. Push. Let's see. Start to squeeze out the top. Scooping and pushing. Scooping and pushing. There we go. I'll wipe off all the extra junk. Cool. Good, good. Good clean. Run out of hand. Ugh. Wipe that grease off the top. So that's not the part we want to be slick. part I want is lit. Y'all can choose whatever you want. Oh, I almost forgot. That's the little piece. Slide down on the top. And keeps all your grease from splattering out. Clamp on. Get this dude started. Yeah, she's at least not going anywhere. I know it's the small things. It's literally the bolt to go into your clamp. But just that difference right there. That's the little stuff that I'm sure a lot of people skip, but on mine or anybody's, I want to make sure that every nut and bolt can be cleaned up as well as it can be. I know we all can't afford ARP bolts and all the nice fancy stuff, but what Harley sends you stock can be cleaned up and use that thing. And just enough to hold it right now. A little too far. So now, got everything in line. You can work on tightening this top bolt. I went ahead and took this one out to make sure I could do it before I got to telling y'all everything. I stopped at Advance and rented this dude, it's one of those free tool situations, so once you take it back, it ends up not costing you anything. But there was one in there called hook. Put that on there, set it down inside the bearing, and you got to kind of pry it back while you're doing it. Hold your top T handle and hammer it up. So I got this one out, also standing on the wheel. Once you get that out, I go ahead and pull the sleeve out, and then to me it's a lot easier to do it the good old knock it out the other side method. And we'll get them replaced. That's a lot easier than I was expecting. That's the non-fun part, though. Of course, everything's hotter than crap. And that's how you do it at home. I go ahead and it still got a little oil on it, so it might be fine, but find your valve stem, avoid the junk. That way you can kind of lean down on the tire, sit, help expand it outward. Make sure all that's snapped in. Give them a gauge. I usually run them about 35, but I'm going to overinflate this one to make sure that it's seated well. And what we got? It says max of 42, so let's go up about 50. About 45. Put it about 55. I'm not gonna put no pressure on it. As far as the load pressure, just going in soapy water. Sure ain't got no bubbles. I don't see nothing coming up either side. Pop the chuck out. Try to release some of that air until I get to 35. That's about it right there. All right. New tire, let's get the bearings put in, let's squeeze them out of the freezer. Well, I guess before I do that, I guess at least talk about the most important parts. I got just old shop rag. Try to not hit them holes. Get that thing folded up. Whenever you start the tire, as you can tell, you kind of like push it on. You might have to get one of your tools, pry the tire on, get it started. Then you can push it around until you get a little bit past halfway. Once you get about here, it'll start to get tight to where you can't stand on it, push it. As y'all saw, I tried jumping on it. That's when I then kind of let off a little bit of pressure, let the tire come up. Tuck that rag over the edge of that rim. And then what you're doing is whenever you're going in, you're tucking that over and prying it back, kind of starting, I don't know, about that far from where you're catching on the rim to where it's sitting over top of it. Once you get that part, pull it back, and I kind of walk it around, whether it's with my knees or with my foot, pushing it down. Kind of hold that back until I can get this tool out, or better yet, if you have two rags, you at least get one over here, and then you can pull both of them. As you notice, once you get to about, like, I don't know, 7-8 inch gap, it kind of takes just one in the middle and it flops on down. Once it pops in there, just get your rags out of it, and all you're doing is filling up air. And what had happened there is the weight I was leaning on with the valve stem at the bottom, I actually had a spot where the sidewall wasn't over top of one of the little lips on the inside of the rim, so it wasn't allowing the air to push it out. So I just rotated it around to where that's on the bottom, and you can push that down to kind of make the tire swell out. That will then let the air capture it and push it the rest of the way. All right, as you can tell, a little change of scenery. It is legitimately just freaking hot outside today. So, besides me standing there sweating my tail off, my phone has also told me it needed to cool down, so we'll bring it inside. All right, your sleeve goes between the bearings. Axle runs through the hole. I only tell you because I don't think anybody's dumb, but I have done it. I have put both bearings in and forgot the sleeve, and then I got to knock one side back out so that I could put the sleeve in. So don't do like me, avoid that. We'll get this kind of cleaned up a little bit. Got some crud on the inside of it. A lot better. Drop that dude down in the center. Take our other bearing. Remember we put them in the freezer. It's got your number on it. Put the number facing out, that way you can identify it. Get it started on there straight. 36mm socket. Fits nearly perfect. And just tap her in. Make sure she's going straight. If she's going good, go ahead and give her some harder hits. Here, our tone change, it was really tink, 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 dunk. Once you get the dunk, you know she's bottomed out. And there we go. All right, let's call out to use blue Loctite. Last time, you can tell I was struggling to get them off. I had red Loctite them. But, per the book, yep, you're supposed to go with blue. Little dab. Let that spread around. A little dab. Start it. T40 start bit. You gonna start it on there? Make sure you go on star pattern. All right, torque wrench, and then you're looking at 30-35 foot-pounds. The star pattern. check. All right. All right, you got a slim spacer. Thicker spacer. Go on the inside. Between the bearing and your lower fork. Set it up in there. Use your axle to hold it. Washer, lock washer, nut. Alright, so it actually does say to go 50-55 foot-pounds on your main axle nut. Go ahead and throw that T-handle in there. Clicks on that. And then you got 21 to 27 foot-pounds on your pinch nut right here. 9/16. There we go. Let's get the fender. Alright, I'm gonna tighten these. Got a 1/2 inch wrench and a 1/4. What's that even called? Allen. There we go. Allen bit. And it says 95 to 120 inch-pounds. Inch-pounds. I don't usually. I give it that good old guten tight. But since we're attempting to explain what I'm doing, I'll do my best to do it by the spec book. But front fender, just want it tight enough that she ain't coming off. I got mine set to 110 as I drop my bit. I'm gonna put my handlebars in the daggone way. I can slide up in here. Fit it down. So, I was gonna go go ahead and put the handlebars back on, but I guess from the first time, you know, you can put the risers and then all your cables and stuff already ran. But for you that already know, I did not run all of these on the outside of the forks, and then I've got to get all these wires through the center, as well as my brake is supposed to come up underneath here. So I'm gonna have to take the front end back apart. I think I'm just gonna undo the clamps, see if I can shift this down, lifting the bike up in the front, get all that ran in here correctly, then put it back together. So stay tuned. Now I got rust on. 10 13 bolt, grade 8, so it's gonna get us at 40 to 45 foot-pounds. Go. Get on there. What's the problem? I just want to go on this side. You want to go on that side? My problem, I know that. Both sides of the but obviously I have to take one side. We'll do this side. P40. Yeah, feel good. Yeah, feel good too. All right, over guys. Right. Well. Another. Yeah. Now just leave it up here. Work back up. Figure out something to use for that. Better. 3/16 on this one. 3/16. There we go. Maybe soon. There you go. Back line back into the running home. Tight. Alright, T45 pinch bolts. Top is a 20-22 foot-pounds. Bottom is 30 to 35 foot-pounds. Top done. brake caliper on. I'm gonna paint this dude one day too. I think I got a pretty decent subtle red secondary color going on. I just, keep everything from being all blacked out. It's kind of one of those situations where it's find your black Harley in the parking lot full of black Harleys. Long bolt, short bolt. Let's say go ahead and put blue Loctite on. And we're gonna go 38 to 43 foot-pounds of torque. Short one on bottom. .10 millimeter. The multi-pattern fits these. And we get them started. Double tap. Alright, front end is back together. We'll do the neck. Alright, so front end's back together. For now, we'll work on setting the neck bearing tension a little later, but at least she's back in one piece for now. I got to clean up the garage a little bit, need to finish sweeping out. But just as an extra note, we've got another one to work on. So probably do a little bit of servicing on this one. I know they want to remove the cats out of it, so probably help out with that. More videos to come on this bike.